8 News at 5 starts now.
This is not Ferguson. This is not South Charleston. And I refuse to allow the community to make and paint a picture of our officers.
Some strong words today from Richmond's police chief in the wake of a deadly officer-involved shooting in the Fan. Right now on 8 News at 5, we have new details on both the suspect and those Richmond police officers involved.
Several of our 8 News crews have been following this story since it broke. We want to start now with 8 News investigator Carrie O'Brien. She is live outside Richmond Police Headquarters. Carrie.
Amy Wan, Chief Alfred Durham says he lost sleep last night over rumors that his officers acted inappropriately and shot excessively. He says there is no doubt in his mind that his officers defended themselves.
So this stuff about black shooting white, get it out of here.
Chief Alfred Durham says deceased suspect Keshawn Hargrove, who has a lengthy criminal record, fired at veteran officers Ryan Bailey and Jacob DeBoard multiple times, hitting Officer Bailey, a 9-year veteran of the force, in the shoulder.
Mr. Hargrove was a convicted felon with an firearm. He decided to turn and shoot at our officers.
The chief says the incident unfolded after police received a 911 call about an armed man in the Fan neighborhood. When Officer Bailey, who is black, and Officer DeBoard, who is white, arrived on scene, they first tried to talk to Hargrove, but he fled on foot. Police chased him, and the chief says Hargrove pointed his gun at the officers and opened fire.
We don't come to work to shoot people. I love this community. Our officers love what they do. And guess what? We have bad people out there. Let's face it.
And despite community tension and claims of multiple rounds being fired at Hargrove, the chief says the preliminary investigation shows the officers never reloaded their magazines and hit Hargrove only once.
He sustained one gunshot wound. The autopsy was done this morning, and it was revealed that he only sustained one gunshot wound.
Officer Bailey is home recovering, and he's said to be in good spirits. In fact, he wants to get back to work. But he, as well as DeBoard, are on administrative leave as the Commonwealth's attorney does their own investigation. Now, the chief also said the deceased suspect's mom has been an angel in all of this. You'll hear about that coming up on 8 News at 6. In the meantime, I want to send it over to my colleague, Jonathan Costin, with more.
Hey, Kerry, we're learning more about the suspected gunman, Keshawn Hargrove. As the chief mentioned, Hargrove was a convicted felon. Now, according to court documents, he was convicted of malicious wounding and possession of a firearm back in 2010. Authorities also tell us Hargrove was a person of interest in an aggravated assault case that happened back in July. And as you've heard, Hargrove shot at officers multiple times. He was hit once. Our cameras were back at the scene this morning as detectives returned to continue to look for evidence. Now, I also talked to Hargrove's older brother. Today, he says the family has heard many of the rumors the chief addressed, but he tells me his brother shouldn't be judged by his past.
3, 4, almost 5 different stories. I've heard that he was hit once. I've heard that he was hit 10 times. I've heard that it was almost 20 shots. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, authorities say the investigation is expected to continue to take 30 to 45 days before it's handed over to the Commonwealth's attorney. Jonathan Costin, 8 News.
And Jonathan, thank you very much. Officer Bailey wasn't the only officer injured last night. Officer Nicholas Castrinos was injured when he overturned his police cruiser while responding to the shooting. We're told the cruiser was forced onto its side when the officer hit a pole at the corner of Lombardi and Broad Street. No other cars were involved. Officer Castrinos has been treated and released. Meanwhile, other police departments showing their support tonight. The Chesterfield Police Force tweeting at CCPDVA, have your officer and everyone involved in our thoughts and prayers. Of course, this is a story that we at 8 News are on top of. Stay with 8 News for the latest developments on air and online. Amy?
We're also following a weather alert. We're expecting a pretty good dose of rain and maybe even claps of thunder into the later hours this evening.
You see the cloud cover there over the capital city. Let's go straight to John Bernier for that storm tracker forecast.
Yeah, things are going to be a little unsettled over us here. We've got a little gap in the rain across central Virginia right now. Some light rain moving through the northern part of the state. We're okay right here, but at the very bottom of your television screen, you can see all the way down through here, through the Carolinas. That's where some pretty good showers and thunderstorms are ongoing as we speak right now. Here's a look close to us at what's going on. Maybe a light sprinkle or two across Chesterfield County, but that's really about it. This is the action in the Carolinas, and that's going to be lifting north. It's very warm and humid to the south. It's more so than we are right here in central Virginia, and this moisture will be lifting northward later this evening over us and setting us up for some pretty good rain here across the area. So let's kind of go ahead and talk about what's going on tonight. Squirrels have got baseball tonight. They'll probably get the game started with no problem, but as we get towards the later innings and the fireworks coming up towards the end of the game, we're looking to see some rain headed in over us here, with temperatures checking in probably about 74 to 77 degrees over the area. And then as far as things are concerned with the models, here we go. Rain coming in later this evening across the area. The model's not too bad now, but by the time we get to right around 10 o'clock tonight, it's all going to be green over us. It's going to be pretty wet. We'll talk about that and show you how much rain you're going to get coming up.
And you can keep the forecast with you wherever you go this evening, when it's raining, when it's not. All you need is the 8 News Storm Tracker app. It is free right now in the App Store or Google Play.
Fire at the Chesterfield apartment complex drives several people out of their homes tonight. The majority of the damage was contained to an apartment on the ground level. Other units had smoke damage, we're told. No one was injured. Chesterfield fire officials say it started on a stove. The Red Cross is now assisting 3 people who've been displaced. News where you live in Henrico now, where a teen's been charged with impersonating a police officer. A driver says they pulled over for a blue light behind them, and the car with the blue light drove past them. They jotted down its license plate, then called the real officers. That teen was issued a citation and released.
An aerospace company that uses a state-owned launch pad at Wallops Island says it will help pay for repairs from the rocket explosion last October. The unmanned rocket bound for the International Space Station exploded just moments after takeoff. Today, Orbital said it would insure the launch pad for future launches.
We are still waiting tonight for a vote from Danville City Council. A proposed ordinance that would make it so the Confederate battle flag wouldn't be allowed to fly on city-owned properties. Over the weekend, more than 300 supporters of the battle flag demanded the flag keep flying over the Sutherland Mansion. The mansion where the flag currently flies served as the capital of the Confederacy in the final days of the Civil War. We'll have the results of that scheduled vote on 8 News at 11. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, a commission has voted to keep a statue of Confederate President Jefferson Davis in the state capitol rotunda. That 7-2 vote requires an educational component to be added to the statue. Both of Kentucky's gubernatorial candidates called for the statue to be removed following the racially motivated slayings, according to authorities, of 9 black church members in South Carolina back in June. 73% of voters in one poll wanted it to stay.
A consumer alert now. The FDA warning tattoo artists of a batch of ink contaminated with bacteria. When the ink is injected into the skin, that bacteria causes an infection and it can spread throughout the entire body. If you're a tattoo artist or if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, you want to check out all the information. We have it posted for you on our website, WRIC.com. Richmond is the 3rd most tattooed city in the country, just behind Miami and Las Vegas. RVA averages about 14.5 tattoo shops per 100,000 people, and that's just within the city itself. The town of Colonial Heights has 5 shops for just under 17,000 residents.
Today at the Bon Secours Washington Redskins Training Center, the Houston Texans joined our home team for the first of 3 joint practices. And 8 Sports Director Mitch Carr was there. Mitch, the team is from Houston, but some of its players are not strangers to Central Virginia.
Not at all, Juan. There were a few guys who either grew up around here or played their college ball here, or both. The biggest example of that is a guy that a lot of people are rooting for around here, Texans All-Pro left tackle Dwayne Brown. He started as a tight end at Hermitage High School, then went on to play tight end before switching to tackle at Virginia Tech, and then the Texans drafted him. Now you're going to see number 41 on your screen. That is Jonathan Grimes. He played at William & Mary. He's a running back. He also plays special teams, and with Arian Foster, the Texans starting running back, having pulled a groin, it looks like Grimes may make the team and could even see some carries during the season. And then number 64 is Jasper Coleman. He also played at William & Mary, and before that he was a James River Rabbit from out here in Midlothian. Every media outlet in town wanted to talk to Dwayne Brown today, so he was at the podium.
It's still kind of surreal to me to be in my hometown, you know, and playing professional football. You know, I never thought, you know, this kind of opportunity would come. It's nice, you know, and it's just high school memories, you know, college memories when I came back home and visited, you know, middle school memories, you know, everything.
And Dwayne Brown's mother was here and telling lots of stories. That was a good time. Today's attendance was excellent. A lot of it had to do with one guy that came in with the visiting team, and we'll tell you who that was at 6. Back to you guys.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Mitch. Coming up next here on 8 News at 5, a legal tug-of-war heating up in California over a woman's frozen embryos.
And it's the end of an era. Tonight, Jon Stewart signs off as host of The Daily Show. You are watching 8 News at 5. We're covering the news where you live.
From downtown to Dumbarton this Thursday evening. Stay with us. 8 News at 5 returns in a moment.
Good evening. You know, they always say don't go to bed angry, but what if you go to bed and you haven't solved all of your day's problems?
Yeah, maybe Mom was right that sleeping on it really does work. We'll tell you why tomorrow on Good Morning Richmond.
Welcome back. New developments now on an outbreak of deadly Legionnaire's disease in the Bronx. The death toll is up to 10. The number of infections stands at 100. The disease is caused by breathing in mist contaminated by a certain bacteria. Officials suspect that mist is coming from cooling towers atop buildings. Lawmakers are calling this an all-hands-on-deck situation, and they're asking for help.
To not only continue to identify cooling systems and cooling towers in the area, but also to do testing in cooling systems outside of the area where we've seen this large cluster of individuals who have been sick and where the people have died.
More lab test results are expected to be released in New York later tonight.
A developing story now, a historic decision soon be made in California regarding the fate of frozen embryos. ABC News spoke exclusively with the woman in the middle of a legal battle with her ex-husband. She wants to keep their embryos, but he wants them destroyed.
2 years after Mimi Lee and Stephen Finley's marriage unraveled, the former couple is now in an ugly legal battle over the fate of their embryos. Lee is desperate to save them.
My babies. And knowing that I'm their mom and I would do anything for them.
In an exclusive ABC News interview, Lee says after she was diagnosed with breast cancer, the couple decided to create and preserve 5 embryos.
It was critically important.
But this signed consent form shows, in the case of divorce, the embryos should be unfrozen and discarded.
It's still an agreement.
And in court, Finley is asking the judge to order they be destroyed.
Her legal argument is this wasn't a contract between us. This was just a form we filled out. That's not an easy legal argument to win.
Thanks to medical advancements, hundreds of thousands of frozen embryos are preserved across the U.S. Lee, who's now 46, says these 5 are her last chance to have children. The judge's decision is expected in the next 4 months.
We've learned that Finley told the court he's concerned his ex-wife would manipulate the situation to extract money. But Lee says she's made it clear she does not expect him to be a part of the children's lives, physically or financially. Of course, we'll follow the story and keep you updated.
If you're a fan of Marshmallow Peeps, here's a consumer alert for you. New flavors are coming this fall. On August 31st, you'll be able to find caramel apple, candy corn, and of course that pumpkin spice flavor. Each flavor is dipped in a hardened shell the company calls fudge. The special fall flavors will only be available at Target and the online Peeps shop. John, I didn't know there was an online Peeps shop.
Neither did I know, but it'll be your chance to get many Peeps coming up very soon. Yes, for us, we may be getting many raindrops headed your way tonight. Temperatures today cooler, mid-80s over us here across the region. We're sitting at 85 degrees, 86 degrees, as you can see down in Petersburg. Now the radar over us, our live radar again continues to show not much going on right now. All the action has pretty much been a little bit of steady rain to the north of us. And here are the showers and thunderstorms swinging out of the Carolinas. And notice they're starting to turn and come to the north up the interstate and in our direction. They're not moving as fast as the traffic on the interstate on a good day, but they will get here a little bit later on this evening as a weather system that's working its way across Kentucky. You can see the nice swirl right there. This is all the energy in the atmosphere that's swinging this way. It's trying to pull the moisture from the south right up over us. So the stage is set for some pretty wet weather tonight and tomorrow morning as this system has to push through the area and reach the coastline. Now, the models as far as rainfall are concerned really showing the heaviest rain right in the southeastern part of the state here. But even for us, another 3/4 of an inch or even more possible. It's going to depend upon if we have thunderstorms mixed in over us. I think early this evening here across central Virginia, you're okay. If you've got to go out and run out there and mow the lawn between now and sunset, probably pretty good, maybe around 81 degrees or so, but the showers will be knocking on the doorstep, and then it's going to be soggy overnight as temperatures drop down to 71 degrees. Wet start to your Friday, 73 degrees at 8 a.m. We make it back only to 81 in the afternoon. Do see a little glimmer of hope. We might see a little sun breaking through the clouds by late tomorrow afternoon. Here it is tonight. Again, 7 o'clock we're okay, but the rain's overspreading us as we head towards 10 p.m. or so. It's wet overnight across the area. Rain spinning in off and on all night long for you here. Here's another band coming in as we head through the day tomorrow. Then finally tomorrow night, everything starts to pack up, move on out of the way. Going to head into your Saturday, and we'll wake up and we will start to see sunshine over the air. And Saturday afternoon, it's going to turn into a beautiful afternoon for us here. Not much in the way of humidity. Temperatures around 83 or 84 degrees. And the second half of the weekend, the Watermelon Festival. It's looking pretty good. 87 degrees on Sunday. We get back into the mid-80s next week with another chance of showers headed your way on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Still ahead, could it be rumors swirling that actress Jennifer Aniston finally tied the knot? We look into that.
It would be horrible. No, just playing. All right, proof also that you're only as old as you feel. This woman in her 70s just started a new and exciting career. Her story doesn't end there, though. We'll tell you how it saved her life when 8 News continues.
We're back with proof that it's never too late to start a new career. Check out Marchi Alfonso. She's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she started her modeling career. I got choked up a little bit in her mid-70s. Even more amazing, while getting her headshots done, she found out she had malignant melanoma, which is the most serious type of skin cancer. Alfonso says her new adventure in modeling probably saved her life.
Big news now from Hollywood. People magazine reports actress Jennifer Aniston and writer-actor Justin Theroux are officially married. Sources say the couple exchanged vows in front of a small crowd of about 70 family members and friends at their home in Bel Air, which is where I would like to live with Jennifer Aniston one day. She's 45, he's 43. I'm just joking around. We're happy for them. They were engaged back in 2012 after a year of dating. After 16 years and nearly 2,600 shows, Jon Stewart leaves The Daily Show this evening. The 52-year-old announced he'd retire from that Comedy Central show in February. South African comedian Trevor Noah takes over. Stewart, you'll recall, actually inherited The Daily Show from Craig Kilborn. Fun fact, Jon Stewart is famously from New Jersey, but actually a graduate of the College of William and Mary.
So he had some local ties for a time.
He does have local ties, and there's a famous picture of him at young, like college age, wearing a William and Mary t-shirt. Apparently he was quite a soccer player back then.
I do know that he's going to be doing some animal work in New Jersey. He just bought a farm that he's going to have sort of as a rescue sanctuary.
Spend some time with the family.
Yeah.
All right, time now to reveal our special keyword of the day. Have you heard about training camp? Today's word is quarterback. You can enter quarterback at rewards.wric.com. Get yourself 2,500 free points. Then use those free, did I say free? Points
free.
To play games or win prizes.
And is your car decked out in burgundy and gold? This pickup truck is. This photo sent in by Twan Buckner. We are looking for the biggest skin span. Is it you? Head on over to WRIC.com, submit your photos under the Rewards tab, and stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here's your primetime lineup on 8 News. We begin at 8 p.m. with Astronaut Wives Club. Then more ladies at 9 with Mistresses. Check out The Force on Rookie Blue at 10. Then at 11, we'll have all the day's top stories and your weather in the first 8 minutes of 8 News at 11. And a brand new half hour of 8 News is just a few minutes away.
We have a lot of big stories coming up, including this one. It's almost showtime. The first debate of the 2016 presidential campaign cycle is just hours away in the battleground state of Ohio. The latest on Vote 2016, new at 5:30.
Of course, that kids' table debate began about 25 minutes ago. The questions come each fall with the regularity of pumpkin spice latte. Will Starbucks CEO run for president? His response is new at 5:30. Mark?
I'm Mark Tenya. 400+ jobs are coming to the Richmond area. We'll tell you where and how you can apply coming up tonight on 8 News.
A live look at the River City. Look at the gray clouds out there.
Yeah, we're going to check on the storm tracker forecast here in a moment. Stay with us.